Hey brother! Jay, we don't know very much about what happened in Vader's life between this moment and this one. But somehow he ends up with a red lightsaber, and today we find out how. The Star Wars universe is especially tricky. There is an enormous amount of information that is no longer considered canon. And then on the other hand, tons of new information that is constantly being funneled in, whether it's in the form of new movies where we have episodes and Star Wars stories, TV shows, comics, novels, or official Star Wars encyclopedias. It's a lot to take in. But thanks to the release of the Marvel comic Darth Vader, we have gotten loads of new information about not only the Sith Lord himself, but his specific lightsaber, or red lightsabers in general, and lots of just really cool new information that I think is going to be so critical to the Star Wars universe. More specifically for today, why red lightsabers are red and how the Sith come to own them. Now, we all know how regular, everyday blue and green lightsabers are made. Young Jedi travel to Elam and they are selected or select a kyber crystal and then use the Force to create their weapon. Now, this is not actually the case for the Sith though, you see, because kyber crystals are semi-sentient and they are light side attuned, meaning they kind of have a say in which Force user they select, and they are not super keen on selecting dark side users, which almost makes the process that the Sith go through to create their red lightsabers kind of morbid, because they can't do it the same way as a regular Jedi. In fact, since Dark Force users can't be selected by a kyber crystal, it means the only way they are able to get a lightsaber is to get one that has already tuned with another Force user, meaning that something has to have happened to that someone else. Jedi don't seem like the, now where did I leave that lightsaber type. And just taking the blade isn't enough to turn it red. As we said earlier, Jedi usually result in green or blue lightsabers. And occasionally even yellow. Or purple, if you're Samuel L. Jackson and had a say in production. Lightsabers, somewhat similar to wands in Harry Potter, perform best for the Force user that it chose to work with. So in order to get the best use out of your lightsaber to like deflect blaster bolts or something, it needs to be in tune with you. So a dark side user must actually use the Force on their crystal to corrupt it or bend it to its will, and this will cause it to bleed, giving it that red color. So kind of ironically, the very existence of a Sith lightsaber kind of relies on the existence of the Jedi, because they can't make their own. It's almost like the Force needs to be balanced or something, kind of like right in between light and dark, almost a gray, minus the G. What does that spell? On a completely unrelated topic, have I mentioned my crush on Daisy Ridley in this video yet? I feel like I should. Kinda makes me feel like we're going to see the fall of the Jedi in the form of something that lives in between the two ideals.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
But I digress. That being said, just because you see a red lightsaber doesn't mean the wielder killed a Jedi to obtain it. For example, the Inquisitors in Star Wars Rebels are all using crystals they found in the Jedi Temple and corrupted. Asajj Ventress and Savage Opress were both given pre-corrupted lightsabers by Count Dooku. Dooku himself, having left the Jedi Order, could have corrupted his own lightsaber. Although it would not surprise me if he did kill someone, because as we learn in the Vader comic, the Sith don't just receive lightsabers, they take them. Which does make you wonder where Darth Maul got his, because over in his own comic, he has his double-sided lightsabers long before he's ever able to fight a Jedi, which makes me believe Palpatine just gave them to him. I have a feeling he's learning that you can't just hand out red lightsabers and create the greatest Sith in the entire galaxy. It takes a little bit more of a rite of passage type thing. And that's exactly what's happening in the Darth Vader comic. He's like, go unarmed, disarm this super powerful Jedi, and use their weapon. Upon learning this information, I got so excited, like whose lightsaber could he possibly steal? I mean, how many Jedi are even left after Order 66? Like, literally there are 3, and one of them is Obi-Wan, who still very clearly has his lightsaber when he fights Darth Vader in A New Hope. Next was Ahsoka, who was in fact Vader's apprentice, which would have been super cool, but we learn in her book that she buries her lightsabers to fake her own death, and while she does get more later, we see her fight Vader, who already has a red lightsaber at that point. Which leaves Yoda? We don't see him with a lightsaber in Empire or Return of the Jedi. How cool would it be if Darth Vader overpowered Yoda and his lightsaber used to be Yoda's lightsaber? Yes, I agree, that would have been awesome, but in the comic, Palpatine basically shoots it down right away. I feel like it would have been so cool. Why don't they ever ask me to write new Star Wars canon? And even worse, based on where the comic is going, it seems like most likely Darth is going to be stealing his lightsaber from some off-screen unknown Jedi that we've never met before named Karak something. Karak Infila is what it says. Who is that? Just seems like such a lame answer, but either way, there are some ridiculously cool takeaways we get from this new information. For one, this Karak fellow is unknown to us because he has taken the Barash vow. The Barash vow is new to Star Wars and is a vow taken by existing Jedi who completely refrain from all activities related to their order as a form of penance, disengaging from anything but the Force itself. It's kind of like, yes, I still believe in the thing that our entire religion is built around, but I don't like the way that we're going about it, so see ya. Apparently it's not that uncommon though, as over 14,000 Jedi have taken the vow since the Order's existence, which seems high when we can count the number of remaining Jedi on like one robotic hand. And I know that the Order has been around for like thousands of centuries, so maybe that helps explain why the number is so high, but it still seems kind of up there, which maybe suggests that the Jedi don't have it as together as we maybe believed.
It's time for the Jedi to end.
Which is an interesting sentiment, Luke, and I have to say, given what we've just learned about the Barash vow and the feelings he's kind of directing towards the Jedi and how he's secluded himself from the entire galaxy, it's kind of making me believe that Luke is probably involved in the same vow. And while we're talking about Luke and red lightsabers, now we have a whole new question. Whose lightsaber did Kylo Ren corrupt? Well, we know that he was training with Luke to become a Jedi, so it is entirely possible that he just harvested his own crystal and corrupted it, but in the trailers we only see Rey fighting with her lightsaber and we still haven't seen Luke's green lightsaber yet. And we know that Kylo Ren turned on him. What if his lightsaber is Luke's corrupted green lightsaber? And I should go ahead and make a distinction that when we say corrupting the lightsaber, we do mean the crystal inside the lightsaber and not the hilt itself. That would certainly change. Now, we know that Kylo Ren isn't necessarily Sith, but he does idolize Vader. So how perfect would it be if, just like Vader, he also gets his lightsaber by overpowering somebody taking on the Barash vow? I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Kyber crystals and lightsabers and their origins are just absolutely becoming such a huge theme in the Star Wars movies. We're seeing it everywhere, from Luke's lightsaber showing up in The Force Awakens and kind of drawing that like history back in, and the Kyber crystals being so critical in Rogue One, and Ahsoka's entire book about being her building her lightsabers, and now in the comic, the origin of Sith red lightsabers. So that being said, Jay, my question for you and everyone else is, whose crystal do you think Kylo Ren corrupted in order to get his own lightsaber? Be sure to leave your thoughts in the towel section down below. Also, how cool would it have been if Vader's lightsaber was Yoda's first, right? Also guys, after every video, we do a show after the show where we talk about how the idea came to be, the problems we had with writing it, just anything to do with that particular topic, and it is all located on our exclusive feed over on Patreon, so I highly recommend you go check it out. But guys, as always, thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you'd like to see some more Star Wars action from us, you can click right here to find the origin of Yoda's cane, or right here to have all of the other lightsaber colors explained. But Jay, that's all I've got for you today, man. I will see you on Tuesday.